Avast me hearties, welcome to Three Sheets to the Wind. And before we go any further, it is a Saturday as I'm filming this, and the Royal Naval toast for a Saturday is Our Wives and Sweethearts, shortly followed by May They Never Meet. Cheers. This is another encounter on the high seas, scenario 1 from Fighting Sail. After the last disastrous outing, the British squadron has been beefed up and will consist of 4 third-rate ships. In the flagship HMS Merkin, we have Commodore Reginald Sidebottom, who's a disciplinarian, and the captain is John Ballsack, who's a marksman. HMS Paddle has Captain Isaac Redcheek, who's an authoritarian. Captain George Gigglegrid is at the helm of HMS Indistinct, the only survivor against the French the last time out, and bringing up the rear is HMS Indiscreet, with Captain Samuel Scuttlebutt. No change for the French squadron apart from the addition of another third-rate ship, Vachemont, captained by Alain Limousin. French squadron here, close hauled, leading the way is Ducon, then Pomme de Terre, Pouf, and at the back is Vachemont. They've espied the British fleet, led by HMS Merkin with Commodore Reginald Sidebottom and the captain John Ballsack. Behind them we got HMS Paddle, then Indistinct, the remainder of the last skirmish between the two sides, and finally at the back HMS Indiscreet with Samuel Scuttlebutt. First round initiative goes to the British. So it's just the 4 sailing dice for the British. They are reaching, so it's 4s plus 2 points, and it's a straightforward close the gap. HMS Paddle, again 2, so she will just come straight up behind. Indistinct, just the 1, and Indiscreet at the rear gets 2, but will just come up behind. Oh, what's his face? Indistinct. Still close hauled. 4 sailing points, interesting. And Ducon goes 3. Pomme de Terre, just the 1. Pouf, 4. I think Pouf might overtake Pomme de Terre here. Line's got a bit ragged. And finally Vachemont with Captain Alain Limousin only goes the 1. Merkin, right, Ballsack, what are you going to do? Reaching, so it's 4 plus 2 sailing points. Again, he's just going to close the gap. HMS Paddle will do the same. Indistinct gets 3, which is good news. And catch up a little bit. And finally Indiscreet 2. So the French are manoeuvring for broadside, whereas the British are trying to close the gap. Right, initiative stays with the French. Well, the problem with the French, they put themselves in irons and just gets the 1 sailing point, so I think he will go and then just bear away. It's Pouf now. Just goes the 1 again. Now Pomme de Terre goes 2, but we'll just go the 1, I think. And Vachemont, bringing up the rear, is still close hauled actually. Needs 5s, gets them. British are right on the line with reaching and close hauled. Needs 4s, 4 points. 1. Will wear for 3, and I think he'll stay there. Well, that's enough. Right, Paddle next, gets 2. Indistinct 2, and Indiscreet 1. Admiral Patrice Eau de Parfum orders the engage, long range with Ducon and Pouf. Ducon first, hitting on 5s, just the one hit. Hull of 7, no effect, and poof, 2 hits, cancelled out, no effect. Captain Balzac orders the Merkin to open fire on Ducon. 8 gunnery dice hitting on 5s, but re-rolling on 1s because he's a marksman. So 2 hits, but 2 re-rolls. 3 in total. French hull has 7, so they save 2. Ducon takes an anchor token. That's the end of turn. Initiative is a draw, and therefore it goes to the British. Right, Merkin is running now, so needs 4 pluses, gets 2. Paddle reaching needs 4s, gets 3. And she will wear indistinct 4. There'll be a bit of evasive action with paddle. And finally indiscreet, bringing up the rear with the beer and the gear, just getting the 1. Oh dear. French squadron is still in irons. Of course, Matey's got his anchor there, so he needs 6s anyway, which he gets 1. I'll now do a discipline test. 7 dice, needs a 6, gets 1, so that anchor token is gone. Now we've got poof. Also needed 6s, gets 3. Well, I think she will go like that and like that, and just a little bit more and go back again. Obviously spilling some wind a bit there. Pomme de terre. Just the 1. And finally Vashmore. Now they are close forwards, need 5, so he's got 5 sailing points if he needs them. Old limousine. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to tack into wind 4, like so. Might be a dangerous move. So Merkin and Paddle will open fire. I'll actually fire at Vashmore, as they're in medium range, so it's 4s to hit. 2 re-rolls for explosions. Ooh, that is a crunchy 7 hits. Hull of 7. Right, takes 2 hits total. 1 anchor, 1 damage. And Paddle will engage Ducon, medium range. That's another cracking hit. Look at that. And 3 explosions. So another hit there as well. Total of 7. Ducon may be in trouble. Saves 2. That, I'm afraid, is a disaster for the French. Ducon goes to the bottom of the sea, explodes in a dramatic fashion, with Admiral Patrice Eau de Parfum and Pierre Perdue going to Davy Jones's locker together. It's an immediate 7 off false morale. Good shooting by the British. Horrified by what he's seen, Maurice Blancmange in poof will open fire. 7 dice hitting on 4s, he's going for Paddle. Ooh, well that is an extraordinary hit with 4 explosions. Good grief. They are all hits. Extraordinary firing there. It's 11. 7 hull dice for the British, saves 2. And all of a sudden Paddle's taken a beating, smashed to bits, explodes and goes to the bottom. Captain Isaac Redcheek, he won't be ruddy-faced anymore. This is brutal stuff. And finally, Pomme de Terre will open fire on the British flagship, hitting on 4s. Not quite so spectacular there. 3 hits with 1 explosion. Just a 3. And cancelled out by Merkin there. Some extraordinary gunnery in that round have just obliterated 2 ships, 1 from each of the squadrons. The French, more dramatically, losing their admiral with the flagship Ducon, and the British HMS Paddle have gone to the bottom. Time for initiative. I was going to say the French have played their Revolutionary Admiral to get a +3, but he's gone. So it's a straight die roll and the British win. Merkin is running and needs 4s. Gets 2. Indistinct with Giggle Grid. They are reaching. Just gets the 1. Well, he'll be able to wear away. And Indiscreet, 2 sailing points. Well, I'll tell you what, I am actually going to remove these because they have sunk and it's not wreckage in the way. Poof is in irons, needs 6s and doesn't move. And if you don't move, you get an anchor token. Pomme de terre is the same. Vachemont, oh dear. Also, well, he's already got an anchor. They're floundering. Merkin will open fire. It's medium range, and Balzac is a marksman. Two rerolls, 1 hit, and an explosion. Oh, look at that. That is a total of 6 hits. Defensive dice for Vachemont. Saves 3. 3 hits. Damage goes up to 2. And over here, HMS Indistinct with Captain Giggle Grid will open fire at long range. 5s to hit. They're going for Poof. 3 hits. Looking for 4s. And no effect. Vachemont will open fire on Merkin. Medium range, half dice. 3 hits, 1 reroll. 4 hits. 2 saves. 1 damage token and 1 anchor token on the Merkin. And the rest of the French squadron will also join in, firing against the British flagship here. They're at long range. Pomme de terre first. 3 hits. All saved. And now Poof. 4 hits. Ooh, just the 1 save there. So Merkin picks up another damage and goes to 2. Critical time for initiative. Both sides are on a fleet morale of 14. And it goes to the British. Captain Balzac in the Merkin. He's running, but he's got an anchor token, therefore needs 6s to do anything. Doesn't get any, so they're floundering. Discipline test, needs 1 6, 8 dice. Just about gets that, takes 1 damage off. Giggle Grid. Needs 4s, just gets the 1. And we'll just continue coming down this way. Lining up nicely for a broadside. And Scuttlebutt in Indiscreet. Just gets the 1. We'll continue on that course. Now, whilst the French are in irons, they're in a great position for broadside, so I'm not overly concerned at the moment. Poof up the front, needs a 6, gets 1. Discipline test on 7, and that has gone. Pomme de terre. Again, just the 1. Discipline test. Yep, anchor token's gone. French seem to be getting their act back together at the moment. And finally, Vachemont. 2. Discipline test. Gets a 6, reduces damage by 1. Now that last move by Vachemont means that Merkin is just out of arc with Vachemont. So good sailing limousine. He can't fire. Indiscreet can, but it's long range at Poof. Needs 5s, just gets the 2. And that's easily saved, no effect. Vachemont will open fire on the Merkin. Hitting on 4s, medium range, 3 hits. And that's easily saved. And here Pomme de Terre and Poof will open fire on Indistinct. Pomme de Terre on the left will go first. It's long range. But that is a stonking 5 hits. And he saves 2. 1 damage and an anchor token. Fleet morale drops to 13. Giggle Grid isn't happy. And lastly, Maurice Blancmange will open fire from the Poof. 2 hits. And easily saved there. No effect. Right, initiative goes to the French. That's interesting. Right, I think they're going to be ganging up on Indiscreet here. We'll start with Vachemont. Needs 6s. Gets 3. Oh, that's interesting. And we'll take a discipline test. Damage has been reduced to 0. Now we'll do the Poof. 1-6, that's lucky. And finally Pomme de Terre. Yeah, 2. That's nice. I think she's going to attack, but opening herself up for a raking. Right, the Merkin's in a bit of bother here. Got an anchor token. Needs 6s. Gets 2. He's going to wear for 1. Indistinct. Again, needs 6s because of the anchor token, so it doesn't move. Flounders. Oh, it's going to be interesting. And finally, Indiscreet, still reaching, needing 4s. Gets 3. Snowballs around the back. Discipline test for the Merkin, forgot that. Needs 1-6, doesn't get it. However, Reginald Sidebottom is a disciplinarian, so I can automatically take that away. Still in anchors though, and Giggle Grid in Indistinct. Okay, so he reduces damage by 1. Well, for the French, the Poof on the right hand side here is too far away from Merkin, out of range. But Indistinct is in arc of Vachemont, and she will open fire at close range, hitting on 3 pluses, and 5 pluses are explosions. So that is 6 hits with 3 rerolls, with 3 explosions, and another 2 hits. So that's a total of 8. Needing 4s. Saves 3. Total of 5. Indistinct explodes. Giggle Grid is not giggling anymore. British fleet morale plummets to 6. Commodore Sidebottom, aghast at losing another ship, orders Balzac to open fire. He's a marksman. They're going for the Vachemont. That's 4 rerolls. Hitting on 4s. And that's 1 explosion. Ooh, nearly. Okay, 4 hits. Save them all. An old scuttlebutt here is also a marksman. He's in close range. Hitting all 3s. Reroll the 1. They're all hits with 2 explosions. Oh, look at that. 9. Save 3. That's 6. And another ship goes to the bottom. Right, initiative goes to the British. Well, the Merkin is reaching, but she has an anchor token, so needs 6s, just gets the 1. Discipline test to get rid of that anchor token, yes. And Indiscreet is close hold, needs 5s, gets 3. Ooh. Alright, we'll do Poof first for the French. She is close hauled. Gets 2. Needed 5 pluses. She will go... Oh, look at that. Lining up nicely. But the British will fire first, so that may be a mistake. And Pomme de Terre, reaching, needs 4s, so has 4 sailing points. And she has taken herself out of arc of the Merkin, but is not quite able to fire herself. So gunnery action over here. Indiscreet will open fire Scuttlebutt's the marksman. It's close range. We're hitting on 3s with explosions on 5s, and that's 3 re-rolls. Dear oh dear. So that is, oh hold on, 2 explosions. And so that's another 1. So what's that? That is 7 hits. Looking nasty for Poof. However, what's that? Saves 5. 2 hits. It's 1 anchor and 1 damage. Blancmange orders tirer for the French. They've only got 4 dice. 2 explosions though. And that is 5 hits. And that saves 2. So net 3. Anchor and a damage token. Well, this is ding dong at the moment. Fleet morale for both sides is on 5 if I've done my maths correctly. In reality they probably wouldn't be lasting this long and they'd be bearing away, but 2 ships in each squadron left and they're still going for it. Initiative, this could be critical. It goes to the French. Pomme de terre is running. Rouge ball needs 4s. Gets 3. What to do? Well, 1, 2. What he's going to do is hope that Merkin doesn't sail particularly well. Then he'll have a raking shot. Poof is reaching but has an anchor token, so needs 6s, just gets the 1. I think realistically all he's going to do there is just carry on that course. Indiscreet also needs 6s and he gets the 1, so I'm guessing that he will just toodle on there, an old scuttlebutt. And they're still in arc for each other, but the French will be firing first. Critically, what's happening with Merkin needs 4s. Gets 2 sailing points. I think she tacks. Ooh. But at least there's no raking shot now coming in on her. Capitaine Rouge Ball orders tirer and Pomme de terre opens fire. Hitting on 3s. He's not a marksman, but there's 3 explosions there. And that's another hit, 6. Saves 2. That's an anchor token and 2 damage. British fleet morale is going down rapido. Of course I forgot the discipline test for everybody, so I'll have to do that here for these guys now. Yes, so that damage goes. And for indiscreet, yes also, so that damage goes. Right, now Poof will open fire. Hitting on 3s. They're all hits. 2 explosions. Oh my lord. 9. What's happening with Scuttlebutt? Saves 3. That's 6 hits. Boom! Scuttlebutt is scuttled. And with that, British fleet morale collapses, and Commodore Reginald Sidebottom orders Balzac to break contact and run for home. It's a disaster for the British squadron, again. Well done, French.